So I watched this, and I've seen, and if I'm correct, I think I have. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure, but I'm not gonna be like, and then here's. I've watched the other one, so I'm not gonna review this on Spider-Man: No Way Home. So it's not me reviewing Spider-Man: No Way Home because I've done that, and I liked it. And I still like it. A lot of people are like, oh, well, it's not as good nowadays. Like, if you look back on it, it was like, nope, it's still awesome. Nostalgia be damned, I don't care. Yeah, I watched both series. I think I watched the Amazing Spider-Man, and then I watched the original series, because you have three sets of series, which I think is called either Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, and I think Spider-Man Marvel, I think that's what it's called, and that, if not, that's what I call them. Also, if you're asking which of my favorite sort of like series, so far, I'm a big fan of The Amazing Spider-Man, because I'm a big fan of like Andrew Garfield and like his sort of like more sarcastic wit to him. And I just like that, like, what? I don't know why, when he does this like wit, I love it. I do understand the criticism, I just like that a bit more. And I did watch the original, and I do love it still. And all that being said, I do love Spider-Man and all three of them. I'm a big fan of all three. I do get why people are like, oh, the first sort of like two Spider-Mans aren't really a Spider-Man because he doesn't have the story of like sacrifice and it like has to be a thing. I do get it. I still do like it. That doesn't affect me too much. And I wasn't a big too affected before this came out, where it's like, oh, there's no Uncle Ben scene. The same thing, whereas like I think someone made a TikTok, I forgot who, it was like ages ago, where one of the things was like, oh no, they created a new Superman series, but they're not gonna have the origins of Superman. Like, we don't need it. You could just like, if they're making like, I don't know if they're making a movie or a series, you could just like have one episode flashback. Like, you don't need it, in my opinion. Like, I think a lot of people like said there's like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde BBC series. I haven't watched it. I'm not really planning to, but it's like episode 1. You kind of get into like, this exists. You don't have here's it being started. Here's the introduction. Let's go, because sometimes you don't. If you get it, you get it. If you want to lay more, that's what flashbacks are for. So you don't need to be like, and then let's start from the very beginning. Like, I'm getting that. It's the same with like, I'm watching X-Men currently, in between like recording these, and like, we don't need the scene where it's like, okay, let's start and form the team at the very beginning, because it's fine. Like, saying there's already a team, it already exists. So sorry on the rambling about the past. This is just my opinion and what I'm saying with it. Anyway, when I watched the original, I loved it. I get it. I do know it, and I do admit that I think like a couple other people, not because I read it, was a bit hesitant, because based on what this was supposedly being based on, which is the comic, which supposedly is like really hated and really not liked. So I was like, okay, this is apparently bad. That's where my angle came from. So I loved it. I loved the cameos. I love all of his fun. Like, oh, it's this, it's this, it's this. I like it. It's just fun and just nice. And what about the new stuff? It's okay. I already loved this. It doesn't take away. It's still a good sort of movie. You still have a good experience. Is what is added needed? No. There's a couple of nice interactions. There's a couple of nice scenes. I'm not going to say it's bad. But I don't know why you make a second version of a already, like, Spider-Man No Way Home, extended version. Okay, you just added a few scenes of, like, nice interaction. And fair. It is fair. Like, I think one of the scenes is, like, the three Spider-Man talking together about, like, a couple of, like, Spider-Man problems. I'm like, sure. It's okay. It's still good. Both versions. I also watch this because, like, they're nice. But if it's like, this is going to be taken down, you're never going to see it, I'm going to be like, okay. The original version exists. I'm fine with that. So, it's good. I don't know why it's needed, but it's still good. So yeah, this is a weird review video because I've never done something like this. I don't even think I've reviewed, because I haven't. I don't think I have watched it. I haven't reviewed the DC extended version of Batman vs. I think I did watch it at some point. I don't know. Maybe. No, I think I did. I just haven't reviewed it. Because I'm like, oh, I've already watched it. But that's besides the point. I might do that, or I don't know. But here's a weird review. I don't know.